Take Three Wrestling Podcast. After a week sabbatical, where we decided that we were not going to be recording, for those of you at home, we made a collective agreement. There was some outside the podcasting world things that needed to be addressed on a couple of our different plates. So we took the decision to take the week off, recharge the batteries, get ready because the road to WrestleMania officially starts tonight with this episode of the Take Three Wrestling Podcast. We are under 75-ish days away from WrestleMania. We are 3 days away, 2 days away, technically, as we record this, from the Royal Rumble. We will talk about that. That's going to close the show tonight. We'll preview that. We'll talk about
72 as of Thursday. So 71 is this
yes.
The episode will drop.
Okay, so we are at 71 days, and it is go time. We have a full show tonight. Joe has a mystery topic. He'll be here momentarily. He's coming over from work. He'll be on the screen with me over here. Fat Nash. Fat Hall.
That's us, man. That's us.
Fat Siders are back. Joe will be here. Obviously, Royal Rumble. Gonna divulge big into that. I know it's weird. 4 matches, but we got a lot to talk about. Surprises, mysteries. Could something crazy occur? Might something that's not thought of actually happen on this show? I guess we'll find out when we talk about it. Because I do have an idea, and no, it is not Roman Reigns dropping the Transcontinental Global Championship of the world.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb, Mike, and I'm going to say that it will not be Brock Lesnar winning the
Royal
Rumble.
Good for TNA for not following my idea of bringing in Brock.
Dodged a fucking bullet on that one. Are you?
Great decision.
Like, I don't want to go deep dive. We talked about it a bit on 3CT. But like, man, I gotta get like a Valium prescription for WrestleMania week. I'm gonna already be so amped up, and then Lord only knows what fucking news is gonna pop. It's always before the pay-per-views. And like, again, I will certainly not make light of it. I will say the same thing here I said on 3CT. Anybody who was involved, complicit, part of any cover-up, knew about it, participated, any of it, deserves to be brought to justice. And I'll leave it at that, man. Like, it's the disgusting nature of things that I read today. It's fucking vile. Anybody involved should pay for what they did 100%. But it's just, it is another lesson of like, you never know what, you can have all the plans in the world, because like, I think there was a lot of talks about this is around the time of year that Brock Lesnar usually comes back, and there was a lot of talk about him versus Gunther possibly at WrestleMania. Well, Gunther's about to have a new WrestleMania opponent because, like Brock Lesnar is not going to be at WrestleMania this year or probably ever again.
Okay, so can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
Because I really feel like, did they know that this was coming?
I don't know. I don't look,
because randomly Gunther has had less than 1% of contact with Seth Rollins, and randomly right before WrestleMania, or right before Royal Rumble, he has his first interaction while Seth is hurt, and then randomly 3 days later, you think that thing maybe got filed on Monday and they were like, well, you know what?
Here's the deal, man. A lot of times, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a criminal attorney. I am not I don't work in the court system. I will say I have the unfortunate, like, okay, a member of my family once spent time in prison. Okay.
Same.
So I like, if you are involved in the case, you will know things before they hit the press. So, yeah, there is a realistic chance that WWE was aware of what was that this was coming. So, like, is it coincidental? Possibly, or is the fact that, like, they knew that Gunther was going to have to do something else at WrestleMania than they originally thought? There's probably some credence there as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if that's the case, then I mean, obviously more power to them. But because it's just really weird. Again, they had like no interaction, and all of a sudden, this is going to be a thing. And obviously, a couple weeks ago on the show, I was like, oh, Roman Reigns versus Gunther, title for title at Bash at Berlin. Do the Hogan Warrior thing. Maybe it's title versus title, or maybe Gunther's pulling double duty. But it's just, this is just, or maybe they're throwing us off the beaten path altogether to throw an extra wrench in the equation, so it's not so obvious that it's Phil or Cody. Maybe they're trying to give us that next person that it also could be. We'll see what happens with that. But before we go on, Mustafa Ali announced, I guess now this is Thursday, but it'll be dropped on Friday. Announced yesterday, part of TNA. He's also part of some other shows coming up WrestleMania weekend. I saw those. Is the Mustafa Ali get bigger than the Nick Nemeth get from Hard to Kill?
I think in some ways yes, in some ways no. I think Nick Nemeth is a bigger name. So, like, if you're a fan of TNA and you're trying to get somebody to watch, and you say, hey, blank is now in TNA, and you fill in the blank with, and let's be honest, you're gonna say Dolph Ziggler.
Correct.
Okay. You're gonna say, hey, Dolph Ziggler's in TNA, you want to watch? Or you say, hey, Mustafa Ali is in TNA, you want to watch? Unless you know who Mustafa Ali is, you're gonna go, what, who? But, like, there's a pretty decent chance that if you're talking to a person who is a wrestling fan, I mean, let's be honest, any time over the past 15 years, you say Dolph Ziggler, so they're probably going to know, they're going to know who you're talking about. So in that way, I think Dolph is a bigger, quote unquote, get. He's a bigger name. However, if part of your purpose with the new TNA wrestling, the return to TNA wrestling, is kind of getting back to the roots of the company and reestablishing itself as a number two, because at the time TNA was the number two wrestling company because there was nobody else in the game. So they were the number two. And especially when Kurt Angle came on board and Christian Cage came on board, more eyes came to the product, but you also had that that undercard and the mid card that really made it a big deal. So Mustafa Ali can be that upper mid card sometimes in the world title picture. Certainly can be in the world title picture, but, like, Ziggler gets you in the door. Mustafa Ali is a guy that keeps you there because he's that good. So, like, I think they are both it is going to sound weird, equally important in different ways.
No, I think that's a good way of putting it. I think that's because they both are going to be important to the next chapter of TNA.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Ali in-ring style fits well with the Chris Sabins and the Alex Shelley's of the world and the X Division. Nemeth obviously brings in the mainstream media attention. Obviously he's already kind of worked himself into a program with Steve Macklin, which I think is a very good first program for him in Impact, in TNA. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, put him right with Moose," and I was like, let's let him beat some people before he gets fed to Moose, because for some reason I think Moose is the guy they're going with for the time being. No offense to Moose.
No, he don't get me in the door though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I thought, honestly, what would have been another fun thing would have been if hold on. It would have been Nemeth joining his group with Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards to end the show. Like, he cost Shelley the match, and then there was another bringing with it kind of thing, like to come out and like to defend Shelley, or Sabin, because I think that would have been fun. But I think TNA is going in the right direction. Obviously,
absolutely, yeah.
We're going to talk because Trinity versus Jordan Grace, the rematch was on tonight or yesterday's show on the Thursday night show. I think she'll get brought up here in a little bit. But let's get to topic one. Joe's coming up the elevator now, which was my topic. Phil from Chicago, if he did one thing when he was in All Elite Wrestling, it was he convinced Tony Khan allegedly to get rid of the fucking ranking system. And now that Phil's gone and probably going to main event one night of WrestleMania, Tony Khan decided to say, how I get back at Phil? By bringing the fucking rankings back. What the fuck are we doing? Like, we're really bringing these back? Like, we couldn't even get them right the first time.
No, they couldn't. This is the tweet from Tony. I was able to pull it up from the 20th, which would have been last Saturday at 9:48 p.m. The rankings are coming back to AEW going forward, starting this month. Which, first off, the sentence contradicts itself. They're coming back to AEW going forward. When you say going forward, that means from now on. Then he says starting this month. Okay. Anyway, starting this month. AEW is having a very exciting January, and this is only the beginning of an amazing 2024 for AEW and our fans. Thank you all. Thank you all watching Saturday night AEW Collision right now on TNT. Yeah. Here's the deal. Like, I hate it. I hate like, I got nervous this week. I saw, and this was 47 news stories ago. But like somebody said that like WWE is like considering like adding more like sports based content to their product. Just a little concerning because like wrestling and sport are two different things. Hi, Joe.
Hey.
I'm
sorry that I'm late. I got a couple of texts from Vince McMahon. You would not believe he was asking me.
No, you can't. No.
The views and opinions of Joe Lopez on the Take 3 Wrestling podcast are solely those of Joe Lopez.
Can I say one thing?
Big Jim Knees and Mike Ritter do not follow said.
We do not support or condone said statements.
I would just like to say, and I say this from the point of view of a homosexual male, there is no quicker way to ruin a three-way than take a shit in the middle of it. Like, that is the death knell of a threesome.
Is that why Konosuke Takeshita will never have a good triple threat match?
Yeah,
because he's taking shit.
Truthfully, if Vince was still in charge, he would have probably signed Takeshita to WWE.
Oh, damn, that's good shit, pal.
I definitely just tried to veer this right back into the AEW rankings.
Triple H is just like, nah, I'm not signing that guy. I can't take a chance with the name.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's backtrack 30 seconds since we
I'm
just
literally scrubbing my hands after what Joe
Yeah, I
just said. Just,
fucking grimy.
just
We talked. Obviously, we don't think Brock Lesnar will be back in time for WrestleMania. What we said was, do you think that the Gunther interaction was solely because they knew that this was coming, and Gunther's going to need a new opponent at WrestleMania? The interaction on Monday with Seth Rollins, because they had yet to have any interaction since either one of them has won the title, and randomly 3 days before the Wall Street Journal tries to basically murder Grandpa Vince McMahon. Do you think that this potentially led to them? Hey, Goonth, we know you're gonna need a new opponent. Let's throw some fake flowers on this. It could be Seth Rollins.
It could be that. To me, I read it more as just Gunther's another one of the. He's one of maybe about 4 or 5 guys who could win the Rumble on Saturday, where it's believable, totally believable if he were to be the final guy standing there, and this feeds into that.
You mean Sonata's group, just 5 guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because really, I mean, I guess I'll save that for when we talk for the Rumble. But like, to me, there are maybe 4 or 5 people who realistically could win it, and that whole segment on Monday with Rollins puts Gunther into that even further. Like, it moves him up on the list of potential guys to win it in my mind.
Also, we talked because we didn't have a show last week. It was announced tonight on the TNA show that Mustafa Ali has joined TNA.
I love that for him.
Then the question was, does Mustafa Ali push the buttons more for you when it comes to TNA rather than Nick Nemeth?
Neither one of them makes me want to watch it any more than just the fact that it's TNA makes me want to watch it. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
Like I'm totally into this current little TNA renaissance that's occurring, where everyone was just like, oh shit, they're still in business? Oh shit, maybe we should watch them for 5 minutes. That seems to be a thing that's happening right now, or at least amongst us at the very least, if not just in the whole world. And I did really enjoy the pay-per-view that we watched. I enjoyed the heck out of that, actually. Honestly, I'll pay attention to TNA right now. Like, I don't get any kind of service where their show is aired every week. I could find it online and watch it if I have time. So I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to say that I'm not going to watch it. I think that their pay-per-views are another story. I probably will check out their pay-per-views on a monthly basis at this point because I like what they're doing right now. But like, yeah, no, like Dolph Ziggler being there is awesome, but if I wasn't interested in checking it out, I wouldn't check it out because of him. And same thing goes for Mustafa Ali. Like, I will totally enjoy whatever they're doing in the company, in theory, but
No,
I'm not going to go out of my way.
Not Austin Theory.
No, not Austin Theory. But I'm not going to go out of my way just to watch them either.
That makes sense.
All right, and then we got to the fact that Phil from Chicago did one thing right while he was in AEW, and it was to get fucking Tony Kokanye to, get rid of the rankings. And now, because, hey, Phil's probably going to main event one night at WrestleMania, let's bring back the fucking rankings.
So we just started talking about the rankings?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I hate it. I don't, because look, I watch wrestling because it's not sport, and I watch sport because it's not wrestling. I enjoy both separately. I don't need power rankings. I don't need wins and losses. Granted, like, to a degree, they should matter a bit. Like, if you're on like a 72 TV matches in a row and you're losing, you probably shouldn't get a world title match if you've never had one and you're not, whatever. But like, it's also a situation where a challenger, champion can go, I'll fight the next guy who comes out of the back, and fucking Gilbert pops out. Like that's a thing that can happen in wrestling. Like it's not like the fucking Detroit Lions are going to be like, we've run through the NFC, who's next? And then like the University of Delaware Blue Hens like run out of the locker room.
Joe Flacco.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like that kind of shit doesn't happen in real sports. So like, if I want real sports, I watch real sports. If I want pro wrestling, I'll watch like. But I did see this, and I was like, look, I will always hate I will always hate the idea of rankings in wrestling. But I saw a tweet from somebody. They're like, look, if you're gonna bring them back, at least do something where like, if you beat somebody who, like, let's say you beat a guy who's ranked 3rd and a guy who's ranked 5th in the same week, that it like actually moves the needle more than if you just like you know have like an 8 match winning streak against like random jobber number 7 on Collision. Like
Right.
if you beat guys that are in the top 10, in the top 5, then you should start like making huge jumps into the top 10 and into the top 5. Like make it actually matter if you're beating the best competition in the company, not just make it about the number of wins.
That makes sense.
So my biggest issue with their rankings, you know, this is because we don't know what the scoring is. We don't know any of it. I would almost prefer they do their rankings a la the NCAA. Okay. You don't put Division 1, you know, you don't put the bowl subdivision, the, you know, Division 1 AA, Division 2 and Division 3 together. You know, every month pick 8 guys, and those are your top 8 for the world title, the continental title, the, you know, whatever titles, okay?
You know, it's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know, and have the 8 of them almost have to work their way up the rankings, like, you know, and or even if you do it from now until the next pay-per-view. Okay, these are the 8 guys that have a shot at wrestling Samoa Joe at the title for the world title. Okay, it's Swerve, it's Paige, it's Wardlow, it's
I would even kind of just throw something in there because again, this was exactly what I was thinking. Where I was like, if you're going to use, well, I watched like the first hour of Dynamite.
See, I didn't watch any of it.
I watched the first hour of it. It was actually a pretty decent hour. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking the same thing. Like, if you're going to do the rankings and you have all these different title belts, don't just give me a top 10 ranking and like all of a sudden anyone could challenge for any title, blah, blah, blah. Give me rankings for each title belt the same way that like UFC does. Like UFC has, and granted, like those are broken up by weight classes. It's kind of more random to be like, you know, how do you differentiate between who's fighting for the world title, who's fighting for the international title, or you know, the TNT title. I would have guys and women, because there are 2 women's titles also. I would have them actually have to like declare what title they're going after. You know what I mean? Like, you can have Hangman Page be like, or Jon Moxley be like, hey, look, I'm not going after the world title right now. Been there, done that. I want that continental title.
Yeah,
you know, like
the problem with that is then you run the gambit of, hi, Trent Beretta, do I really think that you're a world title contender?
But you're going to have some people in it. It's just like when they did the Continental Classic or when G1 exists in New Japan. You got to have some people in that like grouping that are going to take the losses.
Well, no, see, the thing is what you do is you don't put them in the group, like the top 10 for the world title. Okay, they don't wrestle each other. They wrestle other people. And randomly some random person on an 0-for-4 streak steals a win from Jon Moxley, and he goes from being the number 1 ranked in the rankings to the number 7 because he lost to a guy who's on a 4 match losing streak. It builds storylines in the rankings. It builds the guys who are fighting to get up to the world title match or to the continental title or the Triple Crown title. You know, the way I look at it is, if you do this the smarter way, rather than here's the top 10 and they can fight for any title in the
right.
thing, because the problem with that is Why do I care that 47-0 Trent Beretta has beaten Serpentico 3 times,
Right.
Luther twice, Dante Martin, Go Action Andretti, like, oh, but John Moxley is the number 10 ranked person. He's 3-1, and his 3 wins are Orange Cassidy in a non-title match, Swerve, and Page, but his losses to Eddie Kingston in a Triple Crown match. Why is 47-0 Trent Beretta ranked ahead of him? That's why it's like, at this point, let Trent Beretta and Eddie Kingston have a match, or let Trent Beretta and John Moxley have a match, and like, oh look, John Moxley won. He moves up the world title one, and Trent Beretta moves down the Continental Intergalactic title ranking. I mean, there's ways that if they want to portray this as sport, they can make it make sense.
For sure. I agree
The
with
Tony
that.
Khan, I'm going to throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks approach.
So
might be a problem.
One thing that I do like about it now versus the last time they tried to do it is at least we exist in a world where half of the programming isn't on YouTube. You know, like at this point, you're not going to have any wrestlers who are like 47-0 because they're beating fucking Luther on AEW Dark or AEW Elevation.
Dark Elevation Dark.
Yeah, like you're not gonna have that padding any of the records at this point. Any match that takes place is taking place on TBS or TNT or pay-per-view. Like unless they say they're gonna count house shows, which I don't think they even do enough house shows for that to really even matter. Even if that
they don't do them at all anymore, I don't believe.
I have no idea. I mean, they could barely sell out TV tapings, so I don't know why you would do house shows. But like, if every match is going to be on television and that's what's going to be what counts to the records, I actually like that a little bit more because it does mean that realistically, no one's going to get to 48 wins in a year because nobody's wrestling 3 times a week. They don't, unless maybe John Moxley.
Send Hook.
Right, exactly. So like that aspect of it, I actually like. And I'll say this: I think I like the rankings more than you guys do, and I hated it last time. I hated the way AEW did it, but my stance from the moment when they first suggested doing it at the very beginning of the company was always, if they do it right, it's very effective, and I can get behind it. They did it completely wrong. They did it as wrong as you possibly could the last time. So the question really is now, can they do it right this time? I think they have a chance for part of what I just said is part of the reason. But also, too, I think this is their actual opportunity to embrace what is strong about AEW and what is different about AEW versus WWE. Because look, at the end of the day, the truth of the matter just is Tony Khan can't book storylines. He can't do it. He's gotten lucky once or twice with a couple of feuds over the years. There's been some decent stuff. Most of the time, it's been the wrestlers involved in it who have been behind the creative, and that's when you've had some real successes. Current AEW right now, there's not really a lot of storylines going on. There's not really a lot of drama that you want to follow up on. The only real storyline they had for a while was the whole Devil thing, and at this point, they're just a mid-card stable because MJF isn't even around. So, the strong point of AEW has never been the storytelling and the storylines like that. If you want to embrace that, hey, we're not sports entertainment. This just isn't what we do. What we do is a sports presentation, a UFC-style presentation, a boxing-style presentation. Then cool. Give me that, You have the in-ring talent where you can put on these incredible matches if you really want to. You can have these dream match scenarios and stuff. Cool. That's awesome. Do that. If the reasoning behind the matches is rankings, if that's going to be the main focus of everything and rankings and winning titles, go all in on that. You like to do all in. You like to go to one. Go all in on that concept and give it to me. Because WWE's not doing it. WWE's never done it. WWE's never going to do it. And at the end of the day, the only thing that actually makes AEW really worth watching is when it's giving us something different from what we can already see for 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, and 2 hours on Friday. You know, like if you want something new as a reason to tune into AEW, you show me these rankings. You show me like, you know, you build some big matches to get to the point where it's like, who's gonna fight for the world title? It's gonna be this person versus this person, and it actually matters because the winner gets the world title shot. Like, yes, I'm in for that. Give me a reason to care. And you know what? The rankings can be a reason to care, more so than any storyline that Tony Khan's ever gonna manage to come up with on his own. That's my take on it.
Yeah. It's because
I'm glad you have faith in him because I know he's gonna fuck it up.
I didn't say I have faith. I said that I think that it is actually doing it is one of the best decisions that they can do. Doing it correctly is then the goal. Because, like,
that's the challenge. Yeah, that's the challenge.
And that's the thing. Like, you don't know until you try. And like, granted, you could make the argument that they tried this and it failed the first time. Hopefully, they've learned from that. So far, I don't know that they've learned from that. I think it's kind of questionable that they announced that they were going to put out these rankings, and so far, we don't actually have a rankings. Like,
we talked about that. He didn't say when they were going to come back, just at some point this month.
But see, that's weird to me because like you already had on Dynamite, and I said I watched like the first hour of it, like during the matches, the announcers were talking about like this one's got so and so many wins, this one's got so and so many wins. I wonder where they're going to be. Like, you're teasing it already.
Well, they used to release the rankings on Tuesdays.
So maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah, Joe, the tweet was the rankings are coming back to AEW going forward starting this month. AEW, which is kind of counterproductive, but or contradictory. AEW is having a very exciting January. This is the only beginning of an amazing 2024 for AEW and the fans. So yeah, like that was the only thing Tony like said about them. So yeah, we still don't know. I guess we just have to wait. Yeah, we just gotta wait until it comes actually until they actually come out.
Yeah, I think on paper, you know, it could make sense. I have zero faith that it will make sense. I have 100% the thoughts that first ranking that gets released and we look at it and it's like, here is, 31-1 daddy ass as the number like 4 ranked person in the world heavyweight title.
I want to find something
thing. So, at the end of the day, I have zero faith that Tony Khan will actually do anything smart or correct with this. I have a feeling that, and Matthew and Nicholas Jackson with those stupid ass fucking gimmicks that they're doing right now. Dog water. Maybe they should shave their mustaches too so they don't get somebody suing them thinking that they sent some text messages or something. I don't know. Kind of weird. I believe that Tony Khan will find a way to screw this up because that's all he's shown me to do.
Right. Yeah. I honestly, I do too. Like if we're taking bets on, like, is this going to work or is Tony going to screw it up? I will say screw it up every time because that's what he's proven to do. Which is a bummer because, even though I do not like them, like, I think there are certain ways, if done correctly, that you can kind of make it make sense to a certain degree. But I don't have faith that Tony's going to do that. I hope to be proven wrong. Like, look, I can be a harsh critic about AEW at times, but like, I don't want them to not be here, and I don't want them to not be successful. It's just, man, Tony, get out of your own fucking way, man. Like,
see, like I said, I really think that one of the saving graces for it this time is going to be the fact that there's no more YouTube shows. because I really feel like that was one where it's like, look at who you were putting on the YouTube shows. You were putting on Serpentico and stuff. So all of a sudden, you turned around and Serpentico was like 15-0, and you're like, oh shit, I guess we might have to like give him some kind of title match at something, because oops, we accidentally let him go 15-0 on a show that nobody watches, but like 3 people do watch and they're vocal. So now like they're on Twitter saying this man deserves a world title match. Oops. I don't feel like there's going to be any oops situations. Like I feel like it's going to be easier to control who has what wins and who gets so many wins, and like actually builds people, as opposed to like someone accidentally ending up on like a 15-win streak.
I mean, would it have really mattered if you gave Serpentico a 4-minute squash match to Orange Cassidy? Whether he went 15-0 on dark elevation, dark, your dark, my dark, it doesn't really dark, the dark. They have 17,000 titles. I get what you're saying, but a guy who goes 15-0, here you get to lose to Eddie Kingston in 4 minutes via back fist and a fucking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we're not going to end up in situations where we get title matches that we don't care about.
Are we sure?
I think we're less likely.
That's kind of Joe's hope, I think.
I mean,
I think we're less likely to.
I get it. There's not a YouTube show anymore. There's still Rampage.
Well, yeah.
That nobody watches on a Friday night at 10 o'clock.
No, but to be fair, there's only, 3 matches, 4 matches at most on an episode of Rampage, because it's only an hour.
Exactly. Right, they're not filling
these dark and elevation shows were going 2 hours and 30 minutes some weeks.
And each match was like 7 minutes long, so you had like 12 matches on these stupid shows.
Here you go. Spoiler alert. 4 matches, and these were the matches for this Friday. I guess not really a spoiler to us, but if you're listening to this on Friday, turn off the thing for the next 35 seconds. Jon Moxley defeated Lee Moriarty via ref's decision. Take a Poop defeated Chris Daniels. Anna Jay beat Ruby Soho. Commander defeated El Hijo del Vikingo, Kip Sabian, and The Butcher in an AEW International title #1 contender, freshly squeezed 4-way match.
He had to get a shot at his title.
But I'm supposed to believe that they're going to get the rankings right whenever you put The Butcher and Kip Sabian in a match. Those guys
didn't win.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to have, with the rankings, I'm supposed to rank Commander as high or higher than I Got to Take a Poop or Jon Moxley because they won a match on Rampage.
No, I would disagree with that, because go back to who are the 3 people that won matches?
Moxley defeated Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
Take a Poop.
Yeah.
And Anna Jay.
And then Commander won the 4-way.
Correct.
So okay, here's my take on that. And again, I'm using with logic that I hope that Tony Khan will end up using. I'm not saying I think he's going to. I'm saying if you were looking at this logically, Takeshita winning a match, he makes sense winning a match. He's being built up the rankings. That makes sense. Jon Moxley winning a match makes sense. Him being built up the rankings makes sense. The 4-way, first of all, we don't know that they're counting multi-man matches in any of this. This could just be, singles rankings only count singles matches. Tag team rankings only count tag team matches. We don't know that they're going to end up counting like 4-way matches or battle royals or anything like that. So we don't know if that one counts. But also that match was specifically for a shot at Orange Cassidy's title anyway. So like at the end of the day, I don't like, to me, Commander winning that match doesn't it gives him a good, nice little rub. And if he wins 4 other matches this month on AEW, then yeah, he's in the conversation for rankings. He's not winning 4 other matches this month in AEW, probably.
Are we sure? It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but I think Jon Moxley and, Swerve and people like that are more likely to end up with winning streaks like that right now.
You got to get those guys on TV. I mean, you got 9,374 people on your roster.
Yeah.
I mean, Lear, you say Takeshita's being built. His last 6 singles matches in All Elite Wrestling. He beat Daniels on Rampage, beat Darby Allin on the January 3rd edition of Dynamite. Defeated Kyle Fletcher on October 25th of 2023, who's now part of the Don Callis family. Kenny Omega at All Out 2023. And Mentalo on episode 101 of Rampage back in July. That guy shouldn't be near our rankings at all, but because he's part of the Don Callis family and he beat Kenny Omega at All Out, he would probably be in the top 5 or 10 of one of the rankings because of who he's beaten.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's.
I'm saying I have immensely less faith than Joe does because I don't think this gets out the gates good. I mean, I get what you're saying, and sure, it makes sense. But the other issue is you have guys that wrestle in AEW that also wrestle on Ring of Honor. You also have like are those matches going to count?
I don't think Ring of Honor matches are going to count.
Why not? Why not? Eddie Kingston is the Triple Crown champion that has the Ring of Honor world title involved in it. I mean, there's directly a title that is the main title of that company that's connected to a Ring of Honor, connected to an AEW title.
I mean, but the New Japan Strong title's in there too. You're not going to count matches on New Japan Strong.
I mean, Eddie Kingston might have to go defend the title at New Japan Strong against somebody.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think that would count. I wouldn't count that towards the rankings of AEW, personally. Like, that would be silly.
But also,
but has Tony Khan proven to be silly for the last 3 fucking years?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying is this has the potential to work and be something really good for them if they do it right. Like, that's 100%. Like, if they do it wrong, like, that goes with anything. Like, look, Rock and Roman has the chance to be one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. Unless they go out to the ring and project worms onto the mat, and then it's going to be fucking bullshit.
I don't think that match has a shot at being one of the best WrestleMania because you're getting a 40-plus-year-old Rock and a Roman Reigns who's wrestled 4 matches in the last 209,000 days. I think the spectacle could be cool. I think once the bell rings, I think it's going to be, oh, look, we're getting something that we're never going to see again. And it's going to be a 15-minute match, and everyone's going to be like, that match was cool, but what's next?
Well, my point
isn't that what Rock and Hogan was? And it was, right.
But my point was
that match wasn't great.
My point is more just that anything's got the potential, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can add it up and it's got the potential to work.
Sure.
But it also has the potential to go really awful.
Sure. But that's what I'm saying. I'm playing the counter to your, it could go right. Yeah. But it could go very, very, very left real quick because he's already proven that he's failed at this.
But I guess here's my thing. If it fails, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like the company's not going to get worse than it is. It's as bad as it could possibly be at this point, if we're being honest.
That's true.
Like, why not try something
and
new? And it's not
to come into defense of AEW, but WWE's done a lot of things that have failed.
WWE does things now that fail.
I mean, Raw Underground failed. 24/7 title failed. Women's tag team title still failing, but they're still on the show.
The 24/7 title to me didn't fail. People thought it was going to be the hardcore title.
Yeah.
That belt was destined to fail from the very beginning because people said, "Oh, look, they're bringing back the hardcore title." Wasn't what they were doing.
I think the pandemic helped it fail because I think they were starting to change the narrative on it when they were doing like the social media skits with like R-Truth sneaking up on dudes on golf courses and stuff. And then during the pandemic, like things kind of got shut down and then it just became this goofball thing. But again, it failed. For whatever reason, it failed. There's obviously been other things over the years. The Brawl for All failure. Like there's like WWE and maybe it's different because they're quote unquote untouchable. See current news cycle and pay-per-view this weekend. But like, I mean, I guess if it does fail, you just go back to not doing them again. And there goes 6 months of our lives that don't matter now anyway.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think goal number one here for this to work, they have to determine who's going to be on the Ring of Honor roster and who's going to be on the AEW roster and go from there. Because I just looked at the last 4 episodes of Collision, and they had Ring of Honor tag title matches.
Well, that was going to be my
on your rankings because they're for the Ring of Honor title or because they're Ring of Honor wrestlers.
Well, that was going to be my other thing too. Is like, are guys like Vikingo who are not AEW wrestlers? They are just hired guns. Are they going to be included on the rankings, or is it just going to be for people who are signed to the company? Like, there's so many questions, and like, again, this is where I think the tweet, not the idea, the tweet letting us know that the rankings are back came because Tony was hopped up on one after getting half an hour of sleep in 6 days watching Rampage and trying to promote his show on Twitter. He's just oh, cool, we were talking about doing the rankings this week. Boop, 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 2 rankings are back, and everybody in AEW is like, this motherfucker, why'd he do it again? Like, that's how I assume that whole thing went down. Is they're just like, did he just really? God damn it! Like, why is he still fucking tweeting? Like, because I highly doubt, like, you don't just throw that out there without having a plan to announce them, and here we are, almost a week later, and we don't know anything else about them.
No, and that's kind of the thing. Like I said, I think for me, and the perfect example, I'll use 2 examples of things actually happening in AEW right now, right? Like Tony Storm. Tony Storm, that character could be awful. That could be so cheesy, so corny. If someone else was doing it, it could so be one of the worst things on TV. Instead, it's one of the best things that AEW has going for it because of how amazing Tony Storm is doing it, you know? So that's one example where it's just like, they're taking a chance. Like, that is completely different from any character Tony Storm has ever played in her career. And they gave her a chance. They were like, you know what? Sure, go for it. You want to go out there and pretend to be a Hollywood starlet and be crazy and, like, go ahead, go for it. Let's see if it works. Oh, shit, it worked, On the other hand, this recent change with Matt and Nick Jackson, where now they're like, the executive vice presidents, and like, we're super serious now, but like, we're still kind of making fun of this because we don't actually know how to do anything serious. Like, it's almost a good idea. And then you watch a segment like last night where they showed up at the building late, and it's like, it's like a half hour into the show and they show up and some guy runs over to them and is like, here's the format for tonight's show. And they're like looking it over like, oh, that might be a really good match. Oh, and it's just like, so you expect, it's insulting the intelligence of the viewer. Because I'm sitting there like, you expect me to believe that a half hour into the show, you show up at the building, you're the boss, and someone's running up to you being like, here's a format for the show. Like, it's so inside baseball, stupid, like, wink, nudge. It's dumb. And then they play it off like they're fucking doing a skit on You Can't Say That on Television. And you can't remotely take it serious. If one of them got slimed, I think that would have been a better segment. Sadly, nobody got slimed. So it was just, it's almost like they're trying to give you the kind of segments that like Triple H and Shawn Michaels would do as DX, but their acting is about as good as your local community theater. So that's what you're getting out of it. And it's really bad. But again, that's an idea. Like, on paper, it's like, ooh, yeah, serious Young Bucks, like, here to clean up the company, yada, yada, yada. That could be good. And maybe in the hands of somebody else, that could be good. But the Young Bucks fucking suck. So it's not very good.
Yeah.
I did not change their names to Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Like, that's going to make me actually care.
No, but see,
about
like,
them being serious.
But like, that's the thing. Like that being part of the joke is like, oh, okay, that's clever. Ha ha ha. It's just the way they're playing it up, and the fact that they're going to go out there and they're going to wrestle the exact same match that they've been wrestling for the last 25 years. Like, there's nothing special about it. There's nothing new about it. But there could have been. Like, there's an opportunity there, and they're not following through with it. And that is what's the rankings. It's an opportunity. Are they going to follow through with it? That's just that is what it comes down to. And I hope that they do. I'm not saying that I'm confident that they will, but I hope that they do.
I don't think, and I don't think the name change does enough for me to actually care, because it kind of already feels like the two of them are a joke. So them going by Matthew and Nicholas Jackson and making a point to tell every fucking commentator that introduces them, I don't know, you've worked for the company for fucking 4 years since it got debuted, and you've gone by Matt and Nick Jackson, and now you're like, guys, don't forget, our names are Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Like, every person in professional wrestling has called you Matt and Nick Jackson for fucking 15 years. You know, because you come in with the fucking pencil mustache that makes you look like creepy fucking Uncle Rico in the corner. It doesn't mean I'm going to call you Matthew and Nicholas because you told me on the fucking first time. You've always been Matt and Nick. I mean, the rankings, and getting back to that conversation, is there a way that it can work? Yes. Do I think that there should be separate rankings for every title? Yes. Do I think that they need to figure out what the fuck they're doing with their roster? 100%. Because at the end of the day, you called them a middle of the road stable because MJF's not there. I'll call them a mediocre stable because the leader of said stable can't wrestle a match. Because I think they would be just fine if Adam Cole could actually wrestle. No matter if MJF was there or not, I think they could find something else to do. You know, honestly, the Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy stuff, like, whenever they have a match, I think will be just fine. But Bennett and Taven as the tag champions of Ring of Honor, you know, I mean, I get it. They took them off of MJF, but, like, are we dissolving one of the sets of tag titles sometime soon, or are we just gonna let Taven and Bennett run around with them for however long? Like, we really need to figure out, because, again, if, you know, and I'm just going to use this name because he's someone that you see on Ring of Honor TV more times than not, El Hijo del Vikingo. Vikingo goes out there the next 4 or 5 Ring of Honor shows and goes 5-0. Is he the number 1 ranked person for the Triple Crown title, or is it someone who's 2-0 on Rampage and Collision?
Yeah. And that's honestly, like, now we're just firing into the breeze, you know. So now, like, this is where, you know, we hope that we get those clarifying answers at some point.
It really feels like there's more questions than answers.
There is.
I mean, honestly, if you do it even on a points base, okay, you win a match on Dynamite, it's worth fucking 3 points. You win a match on Collision, it's worth 2. You win a match on Ring of Honor or Rampage, it's 1 point. You know? And you put these 10 guys in for the world title, these 10 guys in for the Triple Crown, these 10 guys in for the TNT, these 5 teams in for the tag titles, these 3 or 4, you know, three-man teams for the 6-man tag. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be an episode where I literally talk about the fact that half of their champions haven't felt like they've defended the titles in like 4 in like a million years. Because literally, at points, it feels like guys haven't defended the title in ages. Because there's so many goddamn titles on that show.
Yeah, I mean, that never helps either.
No. We good with the...
Yeah.
All right. Joseph, your topic of mystery.
Is anyone doing a quick...
Oh, fucking hell. I forgot to prepare one. Hold on. Let's go to Chat GPT.
Ooh, I like this.
Ooh, I'm curious.
Was it a trivia question, right?
Yeah.
One pro wrestling trivia question.
I'm very curious what it's going to spit out at you. This former WWE chairman.
Oh man, this is too easy.
What is it?
Who holds the record for the longest reign as WWE champion in the history of the company, and how many days did the reign last?
Wow, ChatGPT gave you that?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, the second part of the question is the hard part. So yeah, we'll let the question stand.
Huh.
So like you both know who the answer is, right?
It's Bruno.
Correct.
Now it's the number of days.
Correct. That's where it's.
Wait, do we have to wager points?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do it.
Oh yeah, how does that work?
The question at this point is the number of days.
Yeah.
I have 400. Joe has 500.
Okay.
Jim is currently leading with 700.
And let's do we'll do the closest to it. We won't do price. We won't do like Price is Right. Like it won't be closest without going over. We'll do like golf. We'll do like golf, closest to the pin.
Okay.
I'm just trying to do math in my head.
I think I'm there. I'm gonna wager 200 points. You can wager your points, and then.
You know what? I'm just I'm gonna go with 300, which will only leave me with 100 because I'm either gonna have points or I'm gonna be the first negative in Take 3 Wrestling trivia for the year.
All right. You want me to guess?
Hold on, let me finish my math before you.
Go ahead. Don't hurt yourself. I smell bacon.
All right, we're good.
Okay. 2,974 days.
That's a good number. I don't know why. My brain is telling me 3,807 days.
You said 3,800 and what?
7.
Jim's about to do some math.
3,807 is what I.
All right. 3,807.
Jim's about to do math. I see it. It looks like that meme. There's all the like.
The Zach Galifianakis where he's just like looking out in the water.
Or that bitch from that show. What was it? The Closer?
Yep.
All right. So the correct number of days is 2,803.
Ah.
So Mike, you were 1,004 days away.
Hell yeah.
Joe, you were 171 days away.
All right.
So.
All right. So both of you are at 700 and I'm down to 100.
There we go.
Sick. I love that for me.
And next week it would be me versus Jim.
Correct.
You get the question. So you won't go negative next week.
Right, you won't go negative next week.
That's a win.
I'll have to thank God.
All right, here's my topic. It's been an eventful couple of weeks in pro wrestling, huh? My topic felt very
the understatement of the year.
My topic felt very current last week, and then Vince McMahon shit on people. So, but don't worry, it has nothing to do with Vince. My question actually opposite end of the spectrum.
Nope.
Somebody who we all thought was awful, maybe became a little bit better last week. Hulk Hogan saved the bitch from a burning car that was flipped over, and he kind of pulled her out, and he was like, "Come here, brother, follow me if you want to live." And so he like pulled her out and saved her life, and it was amazing. He went all Suburban Commando on the situation, and it was beautiful. So my question to you guys is, if you were in a car accident, what pro wrestler would you like to come save your life? That's the question. You open your eyes, you're upside down, and a pro wrestler is walking towards you. Who do you want it to be?
How bad is this car accident?
I mean,
like do I literally need like the wrestler to lift the car off me and or like fucking, reset my broken leg, or am I literally just being assisted out of like a fender bender by a professional wrestler? Because like
your
I
car
feel
is
like
flipped over.
what's that?
Your car is flipped over.
Car slipped over. Can I like kind of move it? Like, is it like a
move, but your seatbelt is like jammed.
okay? So they can cut me out of the seatbelt and assist me.
And the wrestler has to get you out of the seatbelt because like there's a gas leak and your car might explode.
I trust none of them because they probably won't know how to work the seatbelt thing.
Well, like brute strength, they can pull out the seatbelt.
No, I'll have my own. Like I have one of those like the cutters, but that also punches out the windshield thingy. I have one of those, so I'm gonna cut my own belt, but they still have to like pull me out of the car.
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely not where I thought we're going with this. When you came
I never know that beauty.
Brother, you're in a burning car, brother.
Brother.
Take my hand if you want to live, brother. Hulk, I'm a woman.
I've seen the other side of the road, dude.
Gender equality, dude. What are your pronouns?
Oh my God.
Saving you from a burning car is cool, brother.
Try that in a small town, brother.
Oh my God. I don't think Hulk Hogan should ever try anything in a small town.
Why not, brother? I wrestled many a times in the, Podunk Civic Center.
Oh my God.
Poughkeepsie, dude. It's got to be somebody strong, right? Like, because like
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Somebody strong, preferably alive, because if you see a dead wrestler walking towards you, the car accident has not gone your way.
So
like goddamn Maxine Dupree could like come along and like pluck Joe out of the car, just be like, here you go. She just like tosses you in her purse and just like keeps going about her day.
No, his is definitely like Austin Theory because he doesn't need anybody strong enough. Like,
well, yeah, but
I would want Roman Reigns because if I'm being honest, the image of like I'm picturing myself, I'm upside down and like there's a hazy fog and I'm looking and Roman Reigns is just slow walking towards my car with his long hair just like down in his face.
he naturally does. The titties are out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's not wearing a shirt. And he's just slow walking towards my car.
Shocking.
And he just like reaches in and just looks at me and winks. And I'm just like, yes, daddy, save me. Yes, my tribal chief.
I was just saying, how did I know that this was going to go there?
Yeah.
And I'm not even attracted to Roman Reigns, but like that would be hot.
How? I am attracted to Roman Reigns.
He looks too much like Scar from The Lion King.
No, he looks like he's not like 14.
Well, that too.
He looks like he's 35.
He looks like a man. He's a man.
Hold on. Let's compare and contrast here. Joe Lopez, in love with the kid Leroy, looks like he's 12. Roman Reigns looks like he's a man. Looks like he's 35. Been through a war of attrition.
He's been through some shit.
That's true.
I don't know. He kicked cancer's ass twice.
Which is why he's the best person to come save you from a burning car.
True. I don't think that's how that tracks. I don't think that's how that tracks at all.
I don't think that's how it tracks either. But hey, who am I to argue with one's logic?
I was just trying to it did math.
If you're going to be saved by someone and your choices were someone who's beaten cancer and someone who's not beaten cancer.
Yeah, brother.
How strong is the guy that hasn't beaten cancer? I don't know. The car's heavy. What the fuck?
I mean, like Braun Strowman used to be in like the strongman competition.
Yeah, are you telling me that Braun Strowman's going
to the best of my knowledge, he's never beaten cancer?
Put him down and high five?
If I'm upside
down, granted, he did just have a neck fusion surgery, so he may not be able to help.
That's true.
If I'm upside down in my car and Braun Strowman's walking towards me, I'm going next. But then somebody else,
buddy, you don't
want. I was like, no, I'd rather just explode.
Fuck Braun Strowman.
Leave me here.
Joe's like, let me live. And he's like, yeah, but you're going to die. And Joe's like, whatever.
Fuck Braun Strowman.
Jesus.
Oh, now we're the Take Two Wrestling podcast because Braun Strowman walked by Joe's car.
Pretty much.
Oh my god.
It's just going to go. And then bye-bye, Joe. All his Braun Strowman showed up.
All Joe hears is he opens up his eyes. He hears the Braun, and the fucking car explodes.
Just
Actually grab a lighter. I look at him in the eye and I go, "Fuck you! I'm controlling my power." Like the lighter and fucking throw it down. Fuck Braun Strowman.
Wow, you hate Braun Strowman. All right. Note to self.
How would you feel if the entire New Day showed up?
I can't wait till we go to WrestleMania and I buy you a fucking Braun Strowman.
he says, fuck you, I'm controlling my narrative. That's the greatest. That's the fucking greatest. Fuck you and your Denny's Mud Show. I'm controlling my narrative.
Oh, that's so good.
Say hi to Nicholas for me, asshole.
Oh, Jim is just loving playing with the goddamn explosion button.
The best. It's so good. It's like, say hi to Nicholas, needle dick.
Oh shit.
On that note, man, I think I'm picking Rhea Ripley. And because one, she could probably pull me out of the car with like one arm.
I believe that.
Two, if I'm gonna die, if there's a chance I'm gonna die, that's a good way to go out, right? Like that's a really good way to go out. If she does get me out of the car, I envision she trips and I end up on top of her, and then, well, then I do this. So it's a win-win-win. I don't die, and things happen, and I feel the tingles and the jingles.
You're just like, I need to change my clothes. She's like, oh, did you piss yourself, mate? And you're like, yeah,
that's what that is. That's definitely what that is. That is 100%. That is.
You just pulled a crikey out here in the middle of the goddamn fucking saving promo.
Help me out. Oh, crikey. Crikey, I can't splat myself.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I didn't envision saying the words crikey, I splat myself.
You're welcome.
So thank you for that, Joe.
So if this was 3CT, that would be a soundbite if I've ever heard one.
Oh, yeah.
So wait, who's your answer?
I'm actually probably going to go with the most logical here.
Is it Brock Lesnar? Because he'll want you to pee on him afterwards.
No.
I don't think you should pick Brock Lesnar.
No.
Although he did that shark once.
He also did rip a door off of a car and literally yeet it and almost take out 17 fucking fans in the fucking third row. Let's not forget about that. But I'm actually going to go with somebody not in the WWE.
Oh.
I'm going to go with the gentleman who resides in the All Elite Wrestling. Known good person and member of the Nightmare family. Give me Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay. I don't think I'd recognize him if he was saving my life. I think I'd be like, "Oh, thank you, big dude." Oh, you're a wrestler? No shit. Where do you wrestle?
Also, the Brock Lesnar "Get Plowed" shirt doesn't age as well now.
You're not wrong.
Just,
You are not wrong.
just saying.
I will also say, and this just occurred to me because, again, I'm an asshole. Why does Powerhouse Hobb look like the Wish.com version of Big E?
Yeah. I sort of see it.
Mom, I want more Big E. You have Big E at home.
It's Timu now, not Wish that.
Nah, same thing. Mom, I want more Big E. We have Big E at home. But Mom, I want this one. I found it on the TikTok shop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's honestly the gear. Like, I think it's just really the gear.
It really is. It really is. The singlet, it looks so much like E.
Yeah.
I like Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, so do I.
And he saved your life.
I'm saying before he saved my life. He is one of the few guys that I actually have enjoyed watching him in ring and get better.
Yeah.
While he's because when he started, it was really bleak, and like he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can see it. So kudos to him. But yeah, thanks for saving my life, Powerhouse.
You guys want to transition to the Rumbles so we could?
Yeah. Let's do that. Excuse me. Before we get to the actual predictions, this I saw the other day that the WWE released the list of their 25 most surprising Royal Rumble entrants of all time. We can see the full 25 list here on the screen. You can find this on the WWE's YouTube channel if you are not watching us on our YouTube. But the top 5: Triple H 2016, Diesel 2011, Becky Lynch 2019, AJ Styles' debut 2016, John Cena's return 2008. The first thing that I noticed that was so very wrong about this list is Edge in the year 2020 at number 12.
Behind such appearances as Nia Jax, Jerry the King Lawler, and Michelle McCool.
Yeah, I mean, even if you had, how? Look, I get it. I get it. He Adam Copeland went to AEW. Adam Copeland went to AEW, but come on, man. Like this one to me at worst would be third on this list. At worst. Like you want to put Styles above it. Some people say AJ Styles is the most surprising ever. I probably tend to agree.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I never thought we'd ever see Edge back in a ring, man. Ever.
The Cena one gets overhyped because literally it's like, oh, he came back in 3 months from an injury, and then he didn't do shit until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like he came in and was the 30th entry in the fucking match.
Yeah,
won the goddamn thing,
yeah.
And won it in like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It was really the fact that he came out and like literally grabbed somebody like fakely by the back of the head and literally ran with them and kind of did this move because he couldn't extend his arm all the fucking way.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, the John Cena one is severely overhyped because he won the goddamn thing.
I mean, it's a great moment. It's a great, it is a great Royal Rumble moment.
Yeah, and even shocking returns or debuts. I'll put it in the top 5. It's not number 1 or number 2.
But like, here's the deal: like Christian in 2021 should be on this list.
I think there's a soundbite you have.
Yeah, I mean, like,
go fuck yourself.
Like what? Like what are we doing?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about Booker T, MVP, Bob Backlund in 2000.
Right. Like, I mean,
I
Yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
was
Was it surprising to see Bob Backlund in a ring?
sure not as surprising
Sure.
as seeing Christian come back after being retired.
And like Michelle McCool, it's not even like when she like came back and what
The
was
first-
that? The first one?
Yeah,
This was
It was-
last year. We've seen Michelle McCool back multiple times. Like,
Yeah,
how
what
is
am
Brock Lesnar's return last year? Like, when he has been an active competitor for how many years? How is that one off of one of the greatest returns of all time?
Honestly, my top, and I'll just reel them off. It's AJ. It's Etch. I'll put the Trish Stratus return. Becky Lynch because we were there.
Well, and Becky was cool because like she was on what? That was when she was unannounced. Lana gets hurt.
She lost the title match to Asuka.
Yeah.
And took Lana's spot because Lana got hurt and then won the damn thing.
Yeah, like I mean that's cool. Even just for an entrant, that's cool. Like the Nia Jax one in 2019 was when she entered the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Like that's a good one. I actually don't hate that one in the top 10.
Fun.
It shouldn't be higher than Edge, but it's not. I'm fine with it being in the top 10.
I also don't think Logan Paul should be ahead of Edge either, but
No,
absolutely not. Triple H and look, the Triple H entry in 2016 was cool and it played into the story well with him and Roman at that point, and the corporation and Roman. I don't think really, and maybe it's Captain Hindsight talking, but like it's I don't think it's that surprising, especially if you look at it in hindsight.
Was the Diesel 2011 return that really that cool?
yes,
Like
It
top
was.
10 cool.
it was. It came out in the Diesel attire with
That
the
I
jet
remember,
black
yeah.
hair.
Yeah,
Like 1,000% unexpected.
yeah.
Okay.
Like that
Yeah,
one.
I'll give that one. I don't know if it's number 4 of all time.
I don't know that it's number 4 when you have Edge and Christian both sitting at 12 and unranked, but I'll put it in my top 10.
Yeah, I'd go top 10 for that one for sure. For sure.
Bubba Ray Dudley randomly showing up on this list at 16 because he came back at a Philadelphia fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Is Jeff Jarrett on there from 2019?
Nope. You want to know why? He works for the enemy.
Yeah.
That was 2020. That was the Brock Lesnar one. That was Lesnar versus the world.
Oh.
But yeah, it's they do these like every couple of years, and this one caught my eye, and I was just like, I'm not sure about that. All right, let's look at this year's Royal Rumble again. A small card as it stands right now. Just 4 matches. I think this has actually become fairly typical with the Royal Rumble.
Was 5 at the most. Yeah.
Last year was 5 total matches. That again, there may get something get added tomorrow night on SmackDown, but we will see. But we kick off the road to WrestleMania. Let's start here. Singles match for the U.S. title. Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens. Joe,
I don't see going into WrestleMania with Logan Paul not the champion, so I'm gonna take Logan Paul to win, but I'm not happy about it.
Michael.
I think Logan Paul wins because it's obviously going to set up something that happens later in the night. More on that when we get there. But yeah, Logan Paul walks out of St. Pete as the champ.
Yeah, look, I'm a Kevin Owens guy. I've always been a Kevin Owens guy. But yeah, you didn't make Logan Paul U.S. champion, have him carry it, and then drop it.
You didn't
just
have
before WrestleMania.
You didn't have Logan Paul win the title, carry it around, not have him defend it one time to lose it in his first defense.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Fatal 4-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Joe?
No, there's no chance that Roman Reigns isn't winning this match.
No. Michael, dumb
I
question of the year.
I love the match. I actually really do. I think it'll be very entertaining. I think the three guys in it are great. But there's no chance Roman's not winning. Like that's just
Right.
that's what it is.
So let's rephrase the prediction. Roman's winning. Who's he pinning or submitting?
Probably either AJ Styles or LA Knight.
Okay, Michael.
Or maybe Randy Orton.
They don't call you the best in the business for nothing, Joe.
Why am I dropping, Dusty? They don't call you the best in the business for nothing. I will go as far as saying that it will be AJ Styles because LA Knight has already eaten a pin from Roman Reigns in this title run. So give me AJ takes the fall. But I'm going to go out on a deeper and further limb here. Something's going to happen in this match.
Okay.
We're used to the bloodline getting involved. We're used to Solo. We're used to Jimmy. They're going to try to interfere, and Jay is going to dwarf the interference. And then there's going to be a random hooded figure that arrives. It'll be the WWE debut of the newest member of the bloodline, former New Japan never open weight champion Tama Tonga.
Ooh. Okay.
New Samoan member of the Bloodline Family Dynasty.
All right.
Don't think he's actually in the family, but I think it'd be cool.
All right. I kind of like that. I will say AJ Styles because I hope that him getting choked out by Roman Reigns will make him have a moment of self-clarity and stop wearing black jeans to his wrestling matches and start wearing gear again like a proper AJ Styles should be doing.
You know, that's what happens whenever, you invite everybody to dinner.
Chicken and rice.
They don't want none.
All right, women's Royal Rumble match. There's only been 6 entrants announced and confirmed so far. But the 6 that have been announced: Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile. Joe, who do you got winning the women's Rumble?
It seems like everyone thinks Bayley's gonna win, so I guess I'm gonna say Bayley, but I don't know that I fully see it, but everyone else seems to think that's where it's going. So,
Wow,
Right.
way to just be a people pleaser, Joe.
I mean, I'm just like I could say Becky Lynch or someone like that, but I don't know that they've built up anyone who feels like they must be the winner. And it'd be kind of cool to see Bayley actually win it. It'd be cool to see her have her moment. Is she the only one of the 4 horsewomen who hasn't won it?
Sasha number one.
Sasha hasn't won a Rumble?
No.
What if Sasha returns and wins it?
Mike's head will explode.
Why would my head explode?
I thought you're not a Sasha guy.
No, I don't hate Sasha.
Oh, my bad.
That's actually who I was going to take since Joe took Bayley.
Oh. Well,
Imagine a Sasha Bayley final two, though. That would be fun.
But what I will say is I'm actually going to go off of the beaten path here and not say Mercedes, but somebody is going to win it that is obviously unannounced because it's not going to be one of the 6 of them. It's going to be the former TNA Women's Champion. It's going to be Trinity Fatu, and she's going to fight Rhea Ripley for the title.
oh, I like that.
Because what better way to counter emo than super bright lights and glow sticks?
That's true.
I don't hate it. It'd be a cool WrestleMania entrance.
Facts.
I mean, I want it to be Bayley. I think it should be Bayley. I mean, honestly, like I personally don't really see I really don't see like anybody else realistically, like not the only one that would throw the wrench into it really to me is if Sasha returns or if
Yeah.
Mercedes shows up. Like otherwise, this just feels like it's Bailey's to win, and then like we're fully expecting her to be like, you know, because that's been the story is like Damage Control's like, you got to go win the title from Rhea. But like that's where she's gonna call her shot and beat Io Sky.
Right.
And like, you know what I mean? Like she flips the script on Damage Control before they can flip it on her. Because I think we are moving towards a babyface Bailey again. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bailey because I can't see it being somebody else. I really can't. All right, men's Royal Rumble. The 11 announced so far. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, and Damian Priest. Joe.
I don't think Cody does it 2 years in a row. I don't know. Has anyone ever actually done it 2 years in a row? Like maybe Hogan?
Let's see. When was the last? I know people have. The
People
last
multiple times, but I don't know about twice in a row.
Stone Cold won it in 97 and 98.
Okay.
That's the only one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think Cody's gonna get 2 in a row. I could see Gunther winning it, but I think Punk's gonna win.
Oh, Shawn Michaels won 95, 96. He won it back to back.
I forgot about
Hogan won it 90 and 91. And then Austin.
pretty interesting. You had Shawn win it 2 years in a row, followed by Austin winning it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, so there was 4 straight rumbles where only 2 guys won it.
That's crazy. I think Punk's gonna win. I think it's gonna come down to Cody and Punk. I think Punk's gonna get the W on this one.
All right. Michael.
Going back and forth on this in my head. Because on one side, obviously, I would prefer Roman versus Cody. Finish the story. Let's just move on from this. But doesn't seem like that's going to be what we get to. I think the Seth Rollins injury really makes things questionable because, you know, the thing you have to remember is that Money in the Bank briefcase is still floating somewhere. So while you may want it to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, that may not happen because of the injury, because of the Money in the Bank briefcase. So does CM Punk versus Damian Priest put asses in the seats to the equivalency of CM Punk versus, you know, I'm going to go as far as saying this, and this is what I was getting at. Seth Rollins will not walk out of Tropicana Field with the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest cashes in Money in the Bank sometime at this show, walks out with the title. Punk wins the Royal Rumble. Cody goes heel, or Cody goes tweener, beats Damian Priest inside of the Elimination Chamber to win the World Heavyweight title, and we get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes as the night one main event.
I like it.
Or you could always do what Randy Orton did whenever Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble and just force himself into it and make it a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean,
Or is Cody going to take the IC title off of Gunther?
No.
Oh God, I hope not.
Honestly,
I hope he does and brings back the old school title for the second time so they can get that right.
here's
Wow.
my thought. I think that, and I think one of the reasons why we got that Punk Cody promo on Monday was to set it up in case you need it. Because I think that the plan has been Seth versus Seth
Yeah,
versus
100%.
right. And now, like Mike said, like, look, Seth might not make it to WrestleMania. We don't know. We're hoping
He will not wrestle a match until WrestleMania, whether he makes it there or not. I don't think he wrestles a single match
right
because you can't
He's
risk the knee.
absolutely not wrestling before me.
for sure. But like, so the question is, do they keep the title on him until then and have him defend it there, or do you just?
Is this where I sarcastically give you my answer? Because my answer was going to be, sure, fuck it. Nobody else defends their titles in WWE.
I mean,
Rhea Ripley has 7 title defenses in a year. Roman Reigns has like 3 in the last 409,000 days. The only guy who defends his title with any kind of regularity is Gunther.
right. So that's you could get away with it, arguably. No, but if you need a backup plan, or if you need to make it a 3-way, because like, well, just in case, like,
Break glass
we
in case
get
of emergency.
right, just in case we get out there and Rollins hasn't wrestled in 2 months now, but like 2 minutes into the 2 minutes into the match, his knee explodes, and it's like, okay, so now we have right. Now at least we have these other 2 guys in this 3-way match that can, like, now they can have a match, you know what I mean? Like, I could see that being a thing. I think that the backup plan for Cody, if Cody doesn't end up fighting Punk for the title or being involved in a 3-way for a title against Seth, I think the backup plan for Cody at WrestleMania might be to take the Money in the Bank briefcase from Damian Priest in a one-on-one match. Because I don't think that Priest and Balor are making it to WrestleMania as either tag champions. I think those titles are going to get split up before WrestleMania, and we're going to have...
Hopefully they split them at WrestleMania.
Or split them at WrestleMania, but I don't think that it's going to be Finn Balor and Damian Priest involved in that. I think that there's a real chance... Because, look, Damian Priest has had that briefcase for a year. He's no closer to being ready for a world title match, let alone run, than he was a year ago. I think you get the briefcase off of him. And I think putting it on Cody makes a lot of sense. It gives you a little bit more build for, he hasn't finished the story yet, but now he's got another chance. Like, he's literally got a briefcase, and you can go a lot of different directions with that. But again, I think that's all now very dependent on the Seth Rollins situation of it all.
I hate, and I'm not shooting. Your idea, I think, is fine. I'm not a fan of the briefcase becoming like a championship.
Yeah, I'm with Jim. If Cody's gonna win one, just let him win.
And like they've done it, and they've also gone to that well enough recently that it's like, ugh, can we not do that for a couple of years? Can we wait? Because Big Oats did it, and then I think they did even another one since then.
Mr. Anderson lost his to, or Kennedy lost it to Edge.
Yeah. So I'd much rather do something where, whether it's at the Rumble or
let him
Monday
cash
Night
in
Raw,
let him fucking lose.
like, where Priest cashes in, gets the title, and then Cody, because like Cody's had some run-ins with the Judgment Day, so like let him just face Damian Priest. Like let him face Damian Priest on fuck it, like even do it on Raw. Like,
here's the thing: you're gonna have Royal Rumble that has one of the titles being defended, and as of right now, neither title will be defended in Perth.
Right.
Neither of the men's world titles will be defended in Perth. So I'm at the mindset now. if you're going to put Rhea in the Elimination Chamber, which it seems to be a thing, put Priest in the Elimination Chamber and let him defend the world title that he wins here.
Yeah, I mean him and the Judgment Day and Adam Pearce have butted heads for a while, so to have them just piss him off and he goes, "Fuck it, you're going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Good luck getting out of there with your title."
Yeah, and you can even put Finn in there. You know, oh look, we're going to put your buddy Finn in there. You know, so then it's Finn, Priest, Cody, Gunther, and somebody else. Insert random name here. I don't even care. Main event Jey Uso.
Yeah.
And they could go have a fine match. Cody beats Priest to win the title, and you get Cody versus Punk night one main event.
Yeah.
Now, who walks out of it with the title, that's another story.
Right. I mean, look, I don't see how the winner is anybody but Cody or Punk, and by that I mean CM Punk.
I was going to say, I'm
Like-
be brutally honest. If it's Cody and he doesn't finish the story this time,
Like, why are we here?
I'm good.
Yeah. The only way it's Cody is if Dwayne can't wrestle at Mania. Like, because I have seen some of this because he was on, I don't know, one of the media hits he did this week where he said, you know, if he's gonna wrestle Roman at WrestleMania, that he loves a long build. So, like, if we're getting that next year, okay, if we're getting that next WrestleMania, maybe this is where the streak dies. Like, Cody wins, goes to Mania, wins the title, and then we can, if it happens, we can debate this on a different day. But like, then the argument, then you can, you know, play the argument: did it need to be for did Rock Roman need the title or not? And there are differing views. But like, if Cody wins the Rumble, he's got to win. He's got to win at WrestleMania, and he has to win it from Roman. So that's why, to me, it's CM Punk. This is I think part of the agreement of why CM Punk chose to come back, because he was finally going to get his WrestleMania main event. And I think it's fitting in a place where, you know, Ring of Honor's done, you know, a ton of shows. Like, this is a city that loves professional wrestling. You know, I think it's a city that, you know, obviously not Chicago, but I think like CM Punk can identify a bit with Philly. So yeah, it's gotta be Punk for me. Hopefully it's gonna be Punk Rollins. If not, let's figure it out. Let's figure out if it's gonna be Cody, if it's gonna be Drew, if it's gonna be somebody else. You know, but it's Punk's got to be in that main event, and he's got to win the Royal Rumble.
Let's be real too. Am I wrong, or is this going to be Punk's first match on television since returning to WWE? Because I know he's done house shows. I know he's done like against Dominic and MSG and stuff, but I don't think he's wrestled on Raw.
He is not. He's wrestled twice on a house show.
Is CM Punk going to come back in his first match and not win?
I mean,
and how fitting for it to be at the event that he
walked out
on, in the same state. Well, the same state. I'm sorry, the state that WrestleMania will be in is the same state that he walked out on WWE from. Like, there's, yeah. And also, today was a very bad news day for WWE. Okay, like, one of the ways that you can try and turn the page or distract from looking at the book, however you want to, because like, you know, we shouldn't ignore the news of the day, obviously.
No.
But like, one of the ways that as a company, as a wrestling product, let me put it that way, as a wrestling product, you can make things look a little bit better is by doing the obvious thing. Like, that's one thing over the years that, like, WWE, especially under a former booker, so many times didn't do the obvious thing because it was obvious, and that guy didn't like being obvious, right? So, like, do the thing that is so not that guy, and like, it should be Punk. Like, really, I mean, when you think about the results of and the predictive results, and we did this on 3CT as well. All of us picked Logan Paul. All of us picked Roman Reigns. I believe all of us picked Bayley, and all of us picked CM Punk. So, like, it's the Royal Rumble is quote unquote predictable, right? That doesn't mean it has to be bad. Like, sometimes predictable is good. Like, I'm sorry, CM Punk, after this year, after the events of this year, you know, when the lasting image of him in August was walking off a stage in London with the bird in the air, and then allegedly, you know, Brawl In version 2. And then the first image of him in a wrestling capacity in WWE, the next televised image is him standing in a WWE ring pointing to the WrestleMania sign. That's a W for WWE. So it's okay to be obvious. It's okay to be obvious and do the obvious thing. And I think that's what they should do here.
My question here is, do you close with it?
There's only one chance where you don't close with it, and that's if Rock is showing up to tease him versus Roman. Then you have to close with a Roman match, and Rock shows up after that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if Rock's going to show up and you're going to get some sort of Rock Roman face off, then Roman should go on last. Otherwise, I think Punk should go on last.
Yep.
But now here's what I would do, and I'm thinking this from a production standpoint. If Punk wins the Rumble, Roman retains, Rock comes out, and you get the stare down, you shoot the shot in a way where you can see the ramp. And CM Punk is standing, like, so if Rock and Roman are face to face, you can see CM Punk off in the distance looking at Roman. Because you have to you
got to remind him that he could still pick Roman.
He could pick Roman. He could pick Roman. Like, everybody thinks, like, oh, cool, Rock and Roman in the ring. We're getting Rock versus Roman. What happens if Punk picks Roman Reigns?
Yeah, what happens if Rock versus Roman is the night 1 main event, and the night 2 main event is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns?
Yeah,
it's in the fold.
Yeah, totally.
Or like, if, and I do not think in any way, shape, or form this happens, because if we get Rock Roman, where you're not getting a third entrant into that match, but like, theoretically speaking, like Rock versus Roman, what if Punk goes make it a triple threat? What if I want it to be a triple threat? What if I won in on this action? I looked right in the camera on the first promo when I came back, and I said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. What's going to make more money than Rock, Roman, and CM Punk in Philly at the biggest WrestleMania ever?
What's going to make more money is the fact that CM Punk is going to pick Roman Reigns, and he's going to be the one that finishes the story.
Yeah.
Because Paul Heyman turns on Roman Reigns. He goes back to the original
spicy
Paul Heyman guy.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you have to remind people,
I
even
could
in the biggest shot ever, that Punk's still there.
I could actually see living in a world where the main event is of WrestleMania Night 2 is Punk versus Roman, with Rock as like special guest referee or special guest like ring
Enforcer.
officiant and right, whatever, where
he's stopping like Solo and Jimmy from interfering.
yeah, and something's happening where like the end of it is Rock is being forced to count the 3 count for Roman to win, where like Rock doesn't want to be doing it and he's giving you know what I mean? He's giving you the like 1, god damn it, like I gotta get 2, you know what I mean? And then like you can end WrestleMania with the face down with Rock and Roman, and you could tease that to next WrestleMania if that's a real thing, if they want to make it a slow build. And you don't need the title by next WrestleMania for it. Like you can still live in a world where Cody wins the belt like before WrestleMania in some capacity, because I know like what is it after SummerSlam the Hogan reign is beat, if we're going if that's the thing.
Yeah,
you know,
next December.
You can do a whole lot of long-term storytelling building out of this if you wanted to.
There better be a lot of money going to the fucking Rock, because at this point,
Well, he's on the board of TKO. He ain't going anywhere.
No, but you're going to tell him, hey, by the way, you can't go be involved in the XFL, USFL stuff. You can't go do movies. You can't, because what happens if he's filming a movie and gets hurt on the movies, and now you've wasted your WrestleMania build? You're supposed to tell him, hey, by the way, because you're on the board of directors and you want to do a slow build, you can't do shit for the next year. That's what I'm saying, because that's something you got to remember. He's got other shit going on. Like, I get it, but, you know, at this point, I would almost, he goes to count 1, he goes to count 2, he just looks at Roman and just gives him the fucking, the tribal chief finger and gives him the finger wag and fucking doesn't count 3. Exactly.
Yeah, he starts to do this guy and then he turns into one of these.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Roman goes to stand up. Fucking Heyman walks in. Fucking low blows him. Punk hits the GTS. And we leave fucking Philadelphia with a new world champion.
That would be fucking wild.
And on that first Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, who's the first person that comes out to the ring? Phil from Chicago with the title. Paul Heyman by his side, and the original Paul Heyman guy is back.
I like it. It. Yeah, man. That's a Royal Rumble. I'm excited. It's my favorite. It's probably my favorite show annually to watch.
Mine too.
Now this year I will probably be a little bit partial towards WrestleMania, but
Understandable. Hindsight is 100-100.
Yeah.
All right, wrestlers of the week. Last week, because we did not have a show, the wrestlers of the week were as following. I nominated Jordan Grace and Nick Nemeth. Jim nominated the new TNA World Champion Moose and the new women's tag team champions Decay. Joe took Josh Alexander and Kazuchika Okada. Joe, I'll give you the board.
I'm gonna take Swerve. I'm always gonna take Swerve.
What did he do?
He beat Jeff Hardy and like moved up on the rankings.
I didn't know Jeff Hardy was a viable fucking person in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024.
They actually were really good on Dynamite.
Yeah, there it is. There it was.
That's the Ernest J. Christian Memorial pick of the week.
Yeah. There it is. Jim, I'll let you go next.
I'm gonna take The Rock. In a wrestling world, he is now on the board of TKO. I've seen some people theorizing that it was very intentional that 3 days before the most disgusting news story of the year, drops that this was an intentional move to, you know, stabilize ahead of time the news that was forthcoming. So but you know, it's a big deal for the Rock, and now owns the rights to his name as well.
Hell yeah. I'm going to take the new never open weight champion. He won the title in a lumberjack match at the Road to New Beginnings. Everything is evil. Joseph?
All right, but you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna take Hangman Page. He beat Penta on Dynamite.
Cool. Two guys I don't have to put in my top 15. Say less.
You're making it easier, Joe.
Thanks, man. That's you know, there's two people I ain't got to fucking worry about. Appreciate you.
You say that until Hangman wins one of the 20 titles in AEW.
And I'll give him points in March, April, or May when it happens. I don't have to do it this month. This month's over in 5 days. By the time we record again, we'll have to do the top 15.
Fair. God damn it.
Jim?
I'm gonna go with my boy Bro Keller. He is still the Three Legacies world champion. Had a big title defense last Saturday night against O'Shea Edwards, who's big man, and Bro came out on top, keeps his title. Yeah,
I was about to say Oshak Hennessy.
Yeah.
Principal O'Shaughnessy. Why do I feel like? You know what? I'll be that guy. I'm gonna take Adnan Copeland.
A damn Copeland.
Yep, a damn Copeland. He defeated somebody's murder grandpa.
He did.
I saw that on the results. I didn't watch the match. Anytime Minoru Suzuki's on the show, I'll probably want to watch it. Tell me why they got Yuji Nagata wrestling on Collision on Saturday.
Against, I'm pretty sure against Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
Bryan Danielson.
Brian, Dragon, Brian,
That guy.
Dragon. Dragon D's nuts.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the wrestlers of the week. I will send you all the list today or tomorrow so that we can start. Okay. Hold on. I just went on AEW's website.
Oh, the cage match?
Escape the Cage elimination match. FTR and Daniel Garcia versus the House of Black.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's actually, I want to tune in for that match. Not gonna lie.
Don't worry, I'll DVR it because guess what? It ain't making me miss the fucking Royal Rumble.
I was just gonna go on that website.
Oh, that's on Saturday? Yeah. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck, bud. I'm actually looking to see who Yuji Nagata is actually facing.
Daniel Bryan. I'm
Is it
positive.
Daniel Bryan?
Bryan Danielson.
It
yeah.
is. It is.
They teased it when I was watching the hour of Dynamite I watched. They teased it a bunch.
All right. Joe, do you have anything else that you want to say that may or may not get us canceled before we wrap this up?
Not this week.
Good. Good. No. Follow me at Big Jim Sports on Twitter. You can get all of the stuff that I do there. 3CT, Huddle Up Podcast, Discussions with a Nobody. When I do it, that'll come back shortly after the football season is over. Special Tuesday live show for 3CT this coming up Tuesday night because I don't have Huddle Up this week. And we went really long this week on the live show, so doing things a little bit different this week. Otherwise, yeah. Look, I'll close with this. Obviously, today was a heavy news day. Take the time to process the news, however you need to. But also, as we're recording, we're starting the 26th Friday. It's 4 years to the day since Edge returned at Royal Rumble. It's 4 years to the day Kobe Bryant passed away tragically, and his daughter in a helicopter crash. It's also 4 years to the day when my grandma fell and broke her leg, and it was really the beginning of the end for her. And then, of course, 2 months approximately from now, it'll be 4 months from when lockdowns happen and we couldn't visit my grandma in the nursing home and all that. My point behind all of that is like we get inundated with a lot of stuff and we do a lot of things and we get really busy and all of that kind of stuff. Take time to breathe, take time to process, take time to do things for yourself. Unfortunately, we don't know even when we get up in the morning, what that day is going to bring, what that week's going to bring, we have no clue. So just savor the moments you have with your people. Like this weekend, I'm going to be going to a wrestling show, watching a friend of mine in the wrestling business wrestle his last match ever. And then I'm going to hang out with my podcast boys and watch my favorite event of the year. And I'm going to have a blast. And all of the stupid stuff from this week, I'm going to put it on the back burner because as horrible as it is, sometimes you just need to be entertained. And that's what I did 4 years ago when I was sad about Kobe Bryant and I was sad and scared about my grandmother. I was able to watch the Royal Rumble with my buddies and enjoy the hell out of it. So, rambling aside, take time to do things that you enjoy. Like life stinks sometimes. Like, take time. I love all of you guys and everybody for listening and all of that. Yeah, it's just life's heavy, man. Like, so just take some time to take some of the weight off of life.
I echo those sentiments exactly, and I tell you this: sometimes it's okay to not be okay. Take the time, enjoy the moments. We get to escape this thing and do this for a couple hours every week, and we sit here and we joke around. We're 71 days from the grandest spectacle in professional wrestling, and we'll get to do this thing together. In 71 days. It's something that when we started this show and finding out that Jim doesn't travel via plane, I didn't necessarily know that we were going to have that opportunity. And the wrestling gods, as crazy as they are, as crazy as they make our lives because of the stuff that's going on right now, it's going to bring us all together. We're going to have this. We're going to have this moment where we all get to meet each other. We get to sit together. I get to host Jeopardy. If you haven't listened to 3CT, I have kind of pinned myself as the Alex Trebek of the 3CT / Big Dick Devin Jeopardy off. That's going to happen. Check that out. We'll keep you updated on when we're going to do that. But we wrap this show up with this. What happened today on the professional landscape, shouldn't make you feel anything other than to take the time to take a step back for yourself. Obviously, what happens over the next coming months with this situation, if somebody that did something wrong or is associated with it or something along those lines, we will find out over due time and those people will get whatever they have coming to them. But do not let it take away from your happiness going into what could be arguably one of the best wrestling weekends of the year. Enjoy it. Enjoy it with your friends. Enjoy it with us. We'll be back next week to talk about what the fallout of the Royal Rumble is. Until then, follow the show at Take3 Wrestling. You can follow me at They Call Me Burn. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. And remember, everybody love everybody.